Coming up on City Spotlight, we are talking all about Martinsville. In this first episode on Martinsville, we'll talk with the Mayor of Martinsville, Herman Davidson, and Superintendent of Martinsville Schools, Joe Rogers, about Martinsville's new businesses and an overview of the Martinsville School District. And then we will go to Martinsville Elementary and talk with Jordan Maxwell of Martinsville PTO and Brenda Littlejohn of Martinsville on the Move about their respective organizations and what their role is in Martinsville. The focus is on Martinsville, next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're in the studio for this first episode on Martinsville. And in this first episode, we're going to talk with the Mayor of Martinsville, Herman Davidson. Welcome, Herman.
Well, thank you.
Pleasure to have you on. And Joe Rogers, she's the Superintendent of Martinsville Schools. Welcome to the program, Jill.
Hello, thanks.
Glad to have Martinsville on the program here for this first time. And in this first segment, we're going to talk with you two folks about your respective areas, Mayor and the schools. You're both first-time guests, obviously. So, Herman, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I was in Martinsville. I was on the police department for 38 years, 34 of that as chief of police. After I retired off that, I decided to run for city council, was city council member for 2 years of my 4 years, and then I decided to run for mayor my last 2 years as a city council member.
Ask you a quick follow-up question right here, Herman. Plenty of years of experience serving in the community, obviously law enforcement. What was your desire there to seek time there on council and now be a mayor?
I wanted to keep Martinsville progressive and keep it growing and try to get it to grow back. We've lost some population in that, and I just wanted to keep involved. And that's basically my whole life was in Martinsville, and I just wanted to keep Martinsville growing.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And Jill, can you tell us about yourself, please?
Yes, after graduating from Eastern a few times, I taught English and then became a principal and then came to Martinsville in 2001. So this is going on my 18th year as Superintendent of Schools down there.
All right, very good. We'll talk with you about the schools here in just a little bit, but Mayor, let's talk a little bit about the community that you represent, which is Martinsville. You're located in Clark County there. Let's talk a little bit about the location of Martinsville, some of the roads that go by. Obviously, you have Interstate 70 and US 40, so you're a national road town.
Right.
Let's talk about your community and the importance of the location of where you're located.
Like you said, we're located along 70 and Route 40 and the national road, and we're trying to build off of the national road a little bit. We've got the horseshoe and an anvil that at one time was the largest, and then I think it's got dethroned a little bit. But you know, we've got a nice community. We've got a couple. We've got some good restaurants. We've got an outdoor store now, and I just see improvements in Martinsville that we haven't seen in a number of years.
Several communities we've had on this program, we've talked about the importance and what the impact of the interstate has done for communities. What impact have you seen financially or otherwise of having the interstate and Route US 40 there along the north end of Martinsville?
With 70 out there, we've had a convenience store, Travel Mart out there, and it's the gas tax and the video gaming has helped Martinsville out. We've got a new business building out there now, Talley Automotive and Truck Repair, and he's in the process of building, so that's going to be a big improvement for the community.
Okay, very good. You listed a few of the newer businesses. Let's talk about existing businesses in town. Tell us about what they are and if you can tell us where they're located.
Okay. We've got two restaurants in town. For a number of years, we only had one, and it closed in the afternoon, but we've got two. We got Sadie's and Miss Barlow's. They're both very good restaurants in that. Another new business that's in Martinsville, it's only been there for about a year or so, is Outdoor Obsessions, and it's like a small hardware store and sporting goods.
Okay. All right. Your downtown, folks in the community, how has the downtown been kept up, and are you looking to make improvements or growth anywhere in the downtown area?
Yeah, a few years ago, the Chamber of Commerce was able to get a grant for new sidewalks on the business district. At this time, we're working on a grant to go further from the downtown area down to the high school with new sidewalks.
Okay, that definitely helps with the beautification of the community. Very good.
Will.
You, in your opening statement, you mentioned the couple of newer businesses there. Dollar General opened up in June.
Yes.
Noticed a couple other communities in Central Illinois have had those pop up.
Yes.
How has that addition been to the community?
It's been a real big addition to Martinsville. As I check on it every so often, it's busy, and we love to see the tax dollars that it's going to generate into Martinsville.
Excellent. And you also mentioned the automotive and truck repair. Is that still being constructed at this time?
Yes, they've got it halfway done right now, and that's going to be a big improvement. Right now, Martinsville has no place to have vehicles worked on.
So that would be a big shot in the arm.
Yeah,
there.
it will.
Rough timetable, when would you like, or when is there a projection as to when that might be finished?
I think they're talking maybe in the next couple months having it finished and in an operation.
Okay, very good. Any other economic development, businesses type things you'd like to talk about?
We've got a couple other businesses we're trying to court a little bit, and hopefully we can work with them and get them to come to Martinsville and that. But right now it's just in the planning stage. And the other thing we were working on is a grant for a new water tower for Martinsville.
And at this time, where do you get your water from in Martinsville?
Martinsville, the water comes from the city of Marshall.
Okay. Also, Casey has their water also, so
yes.
Definitely a lot of water coming out of Marshall right now, but something to follow up on in the future with you. Very good. In our next segment, we're going to talk about a couple of organizations in the community, Martinsville on the Move and Martinsville PTO. Talk about the different organizations that help your community go.
Martinsville on the Move is a fantastic organization. It gets right into the community, and it was doing storefronts, giving donations out for storefronts, revitalize them and that, and they've given out different grants, even property cleanup grants. If people would like, they would help offset the cost of a dumpster for people to be able to clean their properties up. And the PTO is a fantastic group with the school. I mean, they do a lot of work for the school, and a lot of times it's above what they do is great.
All right, very good. Well, we'll hear from those two organizations in our next segment. Jill, let's talk with you the next couple minutes about the schools. Obviously, you're the superintendent there. Let's talk about your physical buildings. And the current new high school was constructed and opened. This is its 8th year there. Can you talk about that building, please?
Opened in 2011. Yes, actually, our town was hit by a horrendous storm in 2008 that destroyed our junior-senior high school. So at the time, Herman was police chief, and we worked together really hard to bring some FEMA money into the town, and we were able to reconstruct our junior-senior high school and open it in 2011. Really, really proud of our school buildings. We also refurbished our elementary in 2015, added a geothermal heating and cooling system, upgraded fire protection and lighting there. So throughout our district, we are all air conditioned. We're not letting out of school early on hot days like a lot of schools are today. We have just really nice updated facilities for our children.
You said you made some physical changes there, and that high school, it's a young high school, 8 years old physically. Is it meeting expectations, exceeding expectations as far as workflow, how it,
Oh, yeah, great. It's the way it was built makes it just really easy to get around and really easy for kids to find their classrooms. It's a much quieter building than we were used to with all the carpet in there. It's much quieter.
Number of kids in your school district. Can you tell us how many kids you have in your school district roughly?
Well, actually, since we built the high school and we refurbished the grade school, our enrollment has gone back up, so we're about 420 students.
Okay, very good. Do you have any kids that come from outside of Martinsville as far as country kids, or is it all kids from Martinsville?
Well, there's a lot of kids that live out in the country that comes to Martinsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's talk about any activities that you or programs that you have going on in the schools that maybe you'd like to highlight here in the last couple minutes?
Sure. At the elementary, we're really proud of our preschool program that we run. It was just awarded the Gold Circle of Quality Award here recently. We also are really working hard to upgrade our digital features. We upgraded to a fiber internet connection this year, so we doubled our bandwidth. We're adding some security features in both of our buildings, and we're also really, really proud of the work that we've done to take care of the kids as a whole child instead of just looking at test scores or things like that. We added a school counselor last year exclusively to provide therapy to students who need it, and we're able to offer some counseling through the summer this year as well. And in addition, last year all of our staff was trained on mental health first aid.
Oh, wow.
So we've really committed to taking care of our kids.
So some digital changes there and some services that are obviously very important and impactful for the students there as well.
Yes.
All right, very good. Mayor Herman Davidson and Jill Rogers, Superintendent of Martinsville Schools, we appreciate your time here on City Spotlight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We look forward to catching up with you guys in the near future.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll leave the studio and head over to Martinsville Elementary School, and we'll talk with Martinsville PTO and Martinsville on the Move. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Martinsville. And we're back here on City Spotlight. We continue this first-time episode on Martinsville. As you can see, we've left the studio and we are currently taping this segment at Martinsville Elementary School. And in this segment, we have two first-time guests to the program. We welcome Jordan Maxwell. She's the Martinsville PTO president. Welcome to the program, Jordan.
Thank you.
And we have Brenda Littlejohn. She's the chairman of the Festivals and Events Committee of Martinsville on the Move. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a long title you have there. First-time guest here on Martinsville. We appreciate everyone that's been on this episode so far. Your first-time guest, so can you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? We'll have Jordan go first.
Okay. I am Jordan Maxwell. I am married to Trent Maxwell. We've been married for 7 years, and we have 3 children, almost 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old. Our youngest son, is going into the 1st grade. And I have been an active member of our PTO for the last 2 years when he was in preschool and kindergarten. So.
And before we started taping, you told me you are a lifelong resident of Martinsville.
I am, yes.
Right.
I was born and raised here, and it's crazy being in the school because this is where I attended school, and just seeing some of the teachers here that are still here that taught me is great. So it's exciting for my children to be taught from them.
So you definitely have a very unique perspective.
Yes.
We'll touch upon that later. Brenda, can you tell us about yourself, please?
Well, I've lived in Martinsville the last 15 years, but I grew up in Martinsville. And then once I married Kent, my husband, we moved to Omaha for 33 years where he was an attorney. And then in 2002, we built a house in the country and moved back here.
Okay. And how long have you been affiliated with Martinsville on the Move?
Martinsville on the Move was started in 2009, and I was one of the beginning people. Norma Calvert actually had the idea, and I've been with it since then.
We'll get into that really awesome history about that in just a second. So again, thank you both for being on. We'll start talking about the PTO first with Jordan. And Jordan, tell us a number of members you have in the PTO and the basic role responsibility it has here in this community.
Okay, we have about 15 active members that come to the meetings and help quite a bit. We do quite a bit for the school here. We help fund a lot of events, a lot of educational programs. We help the teachers fund. We give each teacher a $100 stipend every year, so they get to use that on anything in their classroom, and they just present us with receipts, and they get reimbursed for that. So it's really great for them because teaching is expensive, and nobody realizes how much it takes to fund a classroom, and so it's really great that we get to help with that. And we host different fundraisers. We have a fundraiser selling trash bags. We have a reading carnival, which is really fun. We do that. It's a carnival type event, and we do that in the fall. That's coming up in November. And each child, our goal is to go home with a book. So last year we had enough that each child went home with more than one book, which is awesome. We have a quarter auction in the spring. We have all different events that we have throughout the year that help fund our affiliation.
And as we speak, there's a pretty cool event going on here at the elementary school. Before we talk about that, any other events that you have annually or any events we can look forward to the rest of this school year, because school is starting the day after we're taping this,
Yes.
August 17th.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, we'll have the Reading Carnival in November, the end of November, and then our quarter auction is in February. So those are two very fun events that we host every year.
Okay.
Along with our Cars for Classroom event that
Very
is
good.
going on with right now.
It is going on right now.
Yes.
We'll have a little video of that, and tell us what the event is and how people are being interactive with it.
Okay. Basically, our local dealership, J&K Mitchell, brings over 4 Pacificas, Chrysler Pacificas, and if you test drive one, then you raise money for the PTO. That's all you have to do. You fill out a form and say that you drove the car, and if you like it, and it raises money. We have a chance to raise $3,000 tonight. So we got $10 for our first 100 people, which we succeeded with already, and we get $20 per person for the next 100. So.
Must feel really good to be a part of an organization where you're involved with a very intricate and very important aspect of the community, which is schools and education. To see the results and what it does for the kids and everyone in the community must make you feel awesome to be part of the PTO.
Yes, it does.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that, Jordan. And let's talk with Brenda. This is the event kind of going on behind us as an event, but let's talk a little bit about Martinsville on the Move and activities that go on in Martinsville. I understand there's some pretty unique history with Martinsville on the Move.
Martinsville on the Move co-sponsored with Western University in a mapping process where we learned how to improve our community. We needed ways. We thought the small town was dying. So many small towns are dying, and so we partnered with them, and through that my committee was formed because we wanted to bring events, festivals and events here. And as we began to think about that, we realized we really didn't have a very good place for that. But at the same time, my husband helped Leonore Lynn form the Lynn Foundation, who all of her property went into that. Lois had already died. It's called the Lois and Leonore Lynn Foundation. And so through that, grants are given 2 times a year. And so when she died, the property was put into the foundation, and the Lynn Foundation then bought the Reed property and added it to the Lynn property and gave it to the city as a full city block minus the library. It is in the corner of the property. Okay. And then we began building an amphitheater because we thought that would be a great place to have events and festivals during the summer. And so we started that in 2012 with the groundbreaking coming in 2013. The demolition was in 2012, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then in 2014, in September, we finished it. And since then, we've tried to have an event or a concert or something every other weekend during the summer. So this year we had 60s music, we had 80s music, we had country. We're having a bluegrass next week, and then we also had a comedian and a ventriloquist. And last year we had a singing blacksmith and a horse trainer.
Wow.
So we've really tried to branch out and have different things for different people.
It's quite a variety. Folks at home are seeing this, so this will be 4 years for that amphitheater.
Yes.
In use. It's been able to house quite a few number of great things for the community. It's going to make you feel good that all that it's been able to have at it for 4 years.
Yes, we've been excited too. We feel like the attendance is gradually increasing, and so we hope someday to fill that whole area in front of the amphitheater. That would be so exciting.
Are there any other activities or events affiliated with Martinsville on the Move that you want to talk about?
Well, through the festivals committee, we I should say, we have a garden committee that is kind of part of the festivals committee. So when we began to build the amphitheater, we sold engraved bricks. And in that, we made a path up to the amphitheater and built a garden around it.
Oh, wow.
And then we decided that we would branch out and do a few more gardens because we would like to label each plant in the garden so people would know what they are and they could take them home, you know, put the same kinds of plants in their gardens that we've put here. So in the process of doing that and knowing that we're going to have a garden, we found out that the Ralph Foundry was pouring the world's greatest anvil, the world's largest cast iron anvil. And so we invited them to place that in the park because the father of the Lynn sisters was the town blacksmith for many years. And so we thought that was an appropriate place to have the anvil. So we built a garden around that also and made a signage that says Lynn Park on it. And then last year we decided we needed bathrooms, restrooms, and so we built a restroom facility with 4 restrooms and a storage room.
Wow. To sum up Martinsville on the Move and how long it's been around and the amphitheater and everything, what are you most proud about? What it has been able to provide for the community, or for you being a part of it?
Well, our committee particularly, I love the fact that we were able to build the amphitheater and to finish off the park, because it really is a beautiful place in the city, and we've never had anything like that, you know. So we're excited that we have something that couldn't have been provided otherwise.
Something that everyone in the community can enjoy.
Yes.
I have 2 questions left for both of you that you can both answer. And Jordan, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about how important it is for everyone to be a part of the community and help out with the different organizations, whether it be school related or not. If you could both maybe give a comment about that. We'll start with Jordan. Why is it important for people to be involved with everything here in this community, helping out organizations and everyone?
I believe that if we want things to be great and successful, then you have to have help. And I'm very busy. I have 3 kids, and they're all small. But even if you give 20 minutes, an hour of your time and help out, it's so appreciated always. And I am so thankful for all of our help on the PTO. It takes a lot of work. And just helping any little bit in town, it helps. There's all different kinds of committees you can be on. There's the park, you know, the ballpark. There's everything in town. And I just think it's really important for our kids, for our future. The world is changing, and I think that our kids need to see that we still care about them and we still care about our town and how important it is to us. So I think that even if you can just give 20 minutes, it's very important to do that.
And Brenda, is there anything you can add from that perspective of why it's important for people to help each other out in this community?
Well, I would agree with Jordan that we just need volunteers. If people want to see the community succeed, then if they can just give a few minutes, like Jordan said, or one day weeding the garden, 1 hour. There are so many things that people can do that some people think there's nothing they can do, but there are so many things they could help with if they want to. They could call Jordan, they can call me, we can help them find jobs.
Yeah. Team effort, that certainly could work. My last question for you, appreciate your time here on this first episode on Martinsville. You probably answered it, but what do you guys enjoy being a part of this community? You obviously both have quite a bit of history being a part of this community, living here. What do you enjoy most about being a part of this community? And we'll start with Brenda first.
Well, I love it because it's a small town and you know people. You see people that you know almost every time you come to town. I love that part, but I also love the fact that we can make a difference for this town. I lived in a huge Omaha, Nebraska for 30 years, and it was difficult to make a difference, it felt like there. But here you can see things that need to be done and you can work on them.
In my book, Omaha, Nebraska is kind of a big town. And Jordan, what are you most proud about being a part of this community? Obviously, you've been here pretty much your entire existence.
I have. I actually grew up in the house right across from the park, so I was downtown and I saw all the action. And if you drove down our town lately, it's booming, we could say, for Martinsville. But we have a Dollar General and we have restaurants, and it's just wonderful to see everybody coming together. And there's local faces in the town, and everybody's happy to see everybody. And it's just so nice to see it full again. Drive through the town and see their cars. You can't park in town anymore, and it's nice. It really is.
That's all the questions I have for you guys. Our first episode here on Martinsville. We'd like to thank Jordan Maxwell. She's the Martinsville PTO president, and Brenda Littlejohn. She's the chairman of the Festivals and Events Committee for Martinsville on the Move. Appreciate your time here on
Thank
City
you.
Spotlight.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking us.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And that'll do it for this first episode here on Martinsville on City Spotlight. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. City Spotlight is on YouTube. Past episodes can be viewed on East Central Illinois towns that have been featured on City Spotlight. Just search on YouTube City Spotlight with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the recent episodes of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.